Okay, I am seeing that we are live here. I'm a few minutes behind here today, but thank you so much for being patient and welcome to the weekly GuitarCollection.com live stream. I see a few of you are already tuned in, but in case you're watching after the fact, whether it's a week, a year, or 100 years later, there will be timestamps below this video after it's over. So you can go around to wherever I begin to present whatever guitar I am showing you. That way it's not an hour-long live stream that you have to sort through. There'll be convenient little timestamps. So always want to remind you of that so you can cut through the fluff, if that's what you call this. But in the meantime, want to say hello to those of you that are just joining. I have to say, in Austin, Texas, we have about the best weather imaginable right now. It's like low 70s. Let me see. High 60s right now. It's so cool for April here, actually. By now, we are embracing the 100-degree weather. So, yeah, it's a beautiful time here, and I have a friend visiting town. And right after the stream, I'm going to go meet up with him. And just having a great time playing guitar these days. I have to say, my mood is elevated. So, welcome you all. I see Lattice here is tuning in from Greece. Paul, hello from Ann Arbor, Michigan. If you all are tuning in from other places, let me know. I'd love to see where you're tuning in from, as always. I think it's really neat to see people all over the world here. And yeah, how cool. Well, I have to say, today's a real treat. I've got some cool guitars to show you, as you see from the title of the video. But just to give a few of you that are here a run through of what I have today for you. Let me get back to you in just a second because I'm checking here. It's weird. It doesn't show the viewers here. Well, it does. It's glitching. It's pushing this out to everybody. I see there's already 10 people here. So yeah, Thanasis already sees it. So I have to say first, the three guitars I'm showing you here today, none of them have a listing on GuitarCollection.com yet. So it's a great time to snag them if any of them catch your attention. These are three of the preeminent lattice brace makers on the market right now. Of course, double tops, lattice, traditional, these are all still very popular styles of guitars, but I thought, why not, take the opportunity to compare these three? And it's really not like one is better than the other. I have to tell you, genuinely, each of these has characteristics that's really interesting. And some are matches for some people in terms of, listening to the guitar. And some are matches for others in terms of playability of the guitar or the aesthetic details. So I can't wait to show these to you. I mean, we have a 1998 Greg Smallamn here. Incredible. Really incredible condition. I mean, this guitar was concertized on for, let me see, I think 22 years. So I'm not counting up till today because the guitar was sold a few years ago. And I've had it for a little while now. But it's in great shape. There are no cracks, no repairs. There's lots of wear to the top. You can see in this area, if you go full screen, you'll be able to see there's a little bit worn down. But the top of this guitar has this like matte finish to it. So it's less obvious. It's not like that's a shiny top and there's some deep digs in it or something. There's little marks here and there that just looks like a guitar that's been played a lot because they loved it. And it sounds that way too. And look at this. Madagascar rosewood back and sides here. This domed back, you can really feel it. And you know what? If you put it against your chest, it actually feels comfy. There's no sharp edges on this thing. But anyways, we have this 1998 Greg Smallamn. I make sure not to beat up any of these guitars on the live stream. How embarrassing that would be. The second one will be this Jim Redgate guitar from the year 2020. And this guitar is in, I'm going to say it, absolute perfect condition. When I lean it into the light, I don't see any scratches, and this thing is talking to me, by the way. It's vibrating so much as I speak. It is in perfect condition. It's really quite amazing. It has a raised fingerboard. Some of his earlier guitars don't. This is 2020. And also has a flat back, which his most recent guitars all have flat backs. It's something he sort of switched to. The guitars are very lightweight, and he feels that this has made a a positive improvement on the sound of his guitars in terms of how natural it sounds. And I have to say, this is one of the easiest playing guitars on the planet. The action is super low. It's very interesting. Actually, the only kind of weird problem, and some people pointed this out in the photos that I posted the other day, is that the previous owner strung the strings through the 12-hole tie block the wrong direction. So it's like, if you were to look closely, it runs along the fingerboard too far in this direction. So when I put a string change on this thing, which I'm hesitant to because the strings sound great, but it needs to be straightened out and just strung the opposite direction, it's going to have no effect on the sound, but just a funny little detail there. So I'm chatting with you guys. All right, I see Ivan in Singapore. Oh my gosh, cool. Don in LA. Hey, that could mean Los Angeles or that could mean Louisiana. Let's see, we've got Robert, hello, from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. All right, you've got to be having some nice weather up there. And then, last but not least, today we will be going over this 2023 Mark Usherovich guitar. This is his carbon lattice model, he calls it, and it's 645 millimeters. So it's 5 millimeters shorter than the standard scale length, maybe a little bit easier to play for those of you that struggle with reaches or have smaller hands. But it's very, very slight. It's very odd that I've had two Mark Usherovich guitars in the past month, but here we are. I'm so happy to get to know these. They are fantastic, and I have to say, he is a maker on the rise, and these instruments are going to become very tough to get. They already are. He has a nice, substantial wait list, but of course, when we're comparing that to Smallman and the fame of Smallman and Redgate, it's tough to compare. And obviously for that reason too, this guitar is a little bit less expensive. But man, is it impressive. It is extremely lightweight. I'm going to say it's a little bit lighter than the Redgate. And the Redgate is a really lightweight guitar. It has a raised fingerboard. And I have to say, on this particular one, the aesthetic details match my sensibilities much more. This cool little sapwood in the ebony, although maybe some people will see that as a flaw in the wood, I think it's so cool. You guys tell me. Leave a comment in chat. What do you guys honestly think? Because maybe you guys are used to seeing my videos where I'm just sharing my opinions and you can't really live react to these things. But in my opinion, this little sapwood thing going on is really nice if it's subtle and minimal. If it's half of the neck, I start thinking that, well, to be honest with you, the reason why that would turn me off is because after I play for anyone, whether they're a guitarist, a musician, a general audience, that's the first thing they're going to ask me about. And it seems weird for that to be the first thing that someone notices about a guitar. So I guess I like a little bit more of a classic look, but this little strip of the sapwood is just so cool. I mean, it starts out actually right here on the second fret, and it tapers. Well, it tapers way towards that. You see it grows towards the 12th. I like some of the imagery it's making there. I mean, as you go up the neck, it's like it's getting to a higher pitch, so it's growing here. I don't know. Something is so. I'm really looking for the word here, not synesthetic. It's so cohesive of an idea. I think it just fits really well with the guitar. I'm still looking for a word. Maybe you guys can fill me in. Anyhow, the aesthetic details on this one's really nice. It's a cedar top. Like I said, it's his carbon lattice brace model. And then we have a nice set of Indian rosewood on the back and sides. I'm doing like a full review of this darn guitar here. I've got to really hold off until I share more about the specific guitars when I get into them. I'm seeing that there might be a little bit of lag going on, but before we get to the first guitar, I want to say we are at a record number of viewers before the stream is, even really begun. We're at 24 live viewers here. Hello, that seems crazy. You guys are watching. It's pretty cool. Greetings. Oh, hello to Joep from Austria, Ari from Indonesia, and Roskill from San Antonio. Awesome. Good to see you all here. Someone as close as San Antonio is watching. Only an hour or so away from here in Austin, Texas. Well, hey, you guys didn't give me feedback about the neck on the Usherovich. What gives? Hello from Utah, Christopher. Good to see you. Well, shall we get started sharing this guitar with you? I'm going to tune it before I start talking about it so that when I finally play it for you, you're not disappointed in how out of tune I am. We've had some real big changes in weather here. It's gone from really hot to really cold, really cold. You guys know I'm talking Texas terms here. Really cold isn't that cold, but it's changed a little bit, the guitars, and the pitch is, it's really cool at night and in the mornings, and now it's starting to heat up when it's, midday here. Okay, so hello from Laredo, Texas. Awesome seeing someone else here. Let me straighten out my shirt and get a little bit more classy for this 1998 Greg Smallamn. Let's start. Okay, the first guitar of today is this 1998 Greg Smallamn guitar that is from this golden period of Smallman guitars. In fact, John Williams, well, the one he probably performed on the most was from the year 1992. And these are from the years when actually it was just Greg Smallamn building the instruments and just his name on the label. Greg Smallamn. Later, actually in 1999, the very year after this guitar, Damon and Kim were put on the label, and of course they make fantastic instruments as well. But this is a really cool era of Smallman. In fact, it's from an era where he even was making his own guitar cases, which I have right over here. Let me show you this. Now, I have to say, this thing is a tank. Look at this case. It is insanely big. When I turn it sideways here, maybe you can't even understand the width of this case, but it is huge. And this is a case he made for his guitars, which I think is just so cool. It's so heavy that I really barely can lift it with one arm here up in the air for the view. But let me scoot this thing out of the way. That'll be the last of you see of that for a little bit of time. But this guitar is spectacular. And if I have to make a statement about the difference in sound between this and the more recent Greg Smallamn guitars, I would say that this is not quite as loud, actually, as the more recent ones. The new ones are super, super loud. And this one is maybe a percentage or two less loud than those. However, I have to say it sounds a little bit more natural of a sound. Now, this could have to do with the age of the instrument, how this cedar top has just broken in and all these fibers have warmed up and broken down over time. Hold on, dump truck going by. I was saying this guitar sounds really nicely broken in. So some of this sound about how natural it sounds over time might be from these cedar fibers breaking in over time, warming up, heating up, all the crazy things that happen to a guitar's top as it vibrates for 20 years. But I have to say, it might be a little reduction in volume from the newer instruments. This one, however, is so natural sounding. And for me, that's worth a lot more to me because I love the natural sound of a guitar. And if it's loud, this is super, super cool. But if it has a natural sound, it is just, it's almost a miracle because you're like, how is this natural sound coming out of this instrument that is this loud, So let me go over a little bit of the details before I get into the sound of it. Like I said, it is a cedar top. It does look to me like it's in really nice condition for the age. Keep in mind, it's been played for 20 plus years and concertized on, but the top is actually all in structurally great condition. There are no cracks. There's lots of little wear. I mean, nail marks here and there. If you're someone that likes a guitar that's in perfect condition, this is not for you. It's nowhere close to perfect condition. But when you hold it from this distance, can you really tell that it's in, that it's been played so much? I don't think so. And also, it makes you, with this value of a guitar, it makes you not so worried about, putting little scratches and stuff in it because there's plenty of marks in this guitar. And then there's, of course, this little top protector here that he installs on all of his guitars, even till today. So you'll notice the bridge down here is a very lightweight, small bridge. It's simple and it's not very wide. I think the aim is to keep it very lightweight. You'll see this iconic rosette that is just, my gosh, it's so cool to see. I mean, this is the Smallman rosette. And I have to say, in person, the red outlines on this, little borders. These red lines are so much more vibrant than I thought they would be on a guitar this age. It's so nice. And then I turn the guitar around and you'll see this really nice Amazon rosewood back and sides. There's this dome to it. Of course, it's an arched back. And I have to say, it's really beautiful. Take a look at that. So I turn it back around. Of course, there's no raised fingerboards on these guitars. Even today, the Smallmans do not have raised fingerboards. This guitar has a very comfortable neck. It is perfectly C-shaped. It's rather thin. I would say, no, it's right in the middle range between thin and thick. So it feels very comfortable. And the action is very low. In fact, let me take my handy action gauge here from Stu Mac. Not sponsored. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. This is right about 4 millimeters, maybe 3.5, 3.75. And this one, on this side, we are at like 2.5 or 2.75, and it's really low. And this is actually a miracle that I can play pretty hard on this thing and it not buzz. Of course, you can always raise the action and get a higher saddle made. But there's something else missing. Oh, we go up to the headstock and we see this classic Smallman design headstock that you've seen throughout all the years. If you've ever watched a video of John Williams playing these guitars, or any number of the extremely famous guitarists, Shu Fei Young or Milosh, or I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm not going to start forgetting people that play these. Judah Perrois, Thomas Villotto. I mean, really, the list goes on and on. These are just amazing guitars. And by the way, many of these are ones that were made in the 90s. So someone asked, is it also have a lattice bracing? I'm sorry, I totally missed that part. This guitar, of course, has a lattice braced top, like all Greg Smallamns do after like 1980 or something like this, when he was before experimenting with other styles. This is a lattice braced top, and it is extremely loud. Like I said, maybe these later ones of his are a little bit louder, but this one is natural sounding. I can't wait to share with you the sound. So without further ado, I'll show you how this thing sounds. I mean, even from that one little playing example, I think you can tell how relaxing it is to play on this guitar. You can trust every note. And you know, when there's these old tropes of people saying that Smallman guitars are one-dimensional and not colorful, it is just such, well, I'll not use inappropriate terms here in the live stream because I can't cut these out. But it is just such a lie. Anyone that tells you that has just not gotten to know a Smallman, or just doesn't know how to handle them. Listen to this. I mean, if I play here, you can't tell me that's not a beautiful, colorful guitar. I mean, and these colors are desirable. Maybe not that. I don't like it ever that bright, really. But just the way these overtones dissipate and how they just come out of the guitar from thin air is just beautiful. I mean, I'm in the middle of holding this chord, and I notice so many beautiful details. recommend sharing it with you all. It's one of the most spectacular third strings I've ever heard. In terms of the clarity of the sound, the evenness, the sustain, the vibrato. I know I talk about dynamic range a lot, but this is just so spectacular of a dynamic range. I mean, it's getting everything that I want it to do. And maybe you hear that. I mean, I'm just getting carried away playing this more and more. And now I have to go to the second string. It just gets better from here somehow. This guitar has the mixture of the truth and something that covers it up. It's like if I strike the string a little bit wrong, you hear I get a kind of a nasty bright sound, right? Like, I mean, that's a useful sound, but it's not my preferred sound. But listen if I do this. For me, that's really great sound. Hopefully it's coming through on the other end. I don't just sound like an arrogant prick over here. It's like everything sustains beautifully. I don't have to leave any notes sooner. It's just so balanced, and it's such a pleasing sound no matter how you strike the string. I mean, no, that's not the way I went to say it. It's such a pleasing sound no matter what dynamic you choose. It's like, you know, on so many guitars I would not even want to show those notes, but here in some way it sounds like it's like the theme to a piece that I want to write now. You know, it's really inspiring. And the way the open strings sound. they're very full of life. Wow. Well, I have to play a few more passages for you all here so you could hear how this guitar sounds. I hope you enjoyed hearing all those strings in detail. Let me know if you didn't, but I don't care actually. I had fun playing those, and you can always skip through the video. So if you're watching this at a later point, you can do that, of course. But you all in the live stream, you're held hostage. So I'll play a piece that'll play on all the guitars here today. My God. It's like the way this low D is when you play this note, it like envelops you with sound. Listen to this, like when I do this. Oh, how did I go? It keeps this original rumble like I just plucked it. It's still going. Wow, okay, I finally figured it out. And sometimes when I'm making these videos or doing these live streams, I figure things out on the spot. And here, it's that original, the sound that you get. Everyone pluck your guitars at home if you've got them. Pluck that low E. And listen to when that original rumble of like right after the attack of the pluck dissipates. On this guitar, it rumbles for so long, and I love that. Okay, I'll play something else here, and then I'll get to your questions. Listen to that. I'm going to the wrong frets. I actually don't have dots on here. In fact, what I'm going to do, and hopefully none of you see this as sacrilegious. There's A. I am going to put a little dot at the 7th fret so that doesn't happen again to me. This, I'm going to show you what I do. I put the tiniest little mark, which comes right off, by the way. It's not something permanent. It's whiteout that I just put on the guitar, and it's right there now. There's no dots on this one, so yeah, it's not a big deal. Anyhow, but now I'll be able to find that fret when I come back down. Okay, a little bit of Capriccio Arabe. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, let's see. Oh my gosh, lots of comments here. A Smallman is a lifetime guitar. This one sounds great. The type of guitar I'm reviewing my bank account for. Yeah, this guitar is not listed yet. You can email me if you're curious about it. Hi, Don. Good to see you. From Florida. Awesome. What are the strings being used? Okay, right now, and I have to say, I've been recently impressed by some various strings, but right now I have D'Addario EJ45 on it, and I have Carbon GNB and a Nylon E. I think the Nylon E is Savres Crystal high tension. But I'm going to be trying some other things on this guitar. I have to say, this feels like a guitar I shouldn't let go of. Let's do a little bit of chord tests. Just wow. Yeah, he says, you could hear the resonance when he talked near the sound hole. Oh yeah. This thing's, it's crazy you can hear that in a live stream. That's ridiculous. I mean, actually, as I'm talking, even right here, I hear it so much. The computer screen is like maybe 6 feet. No way, it's like 4 feet away from me here. So it bounces off of that too, and I can hear it really well. So cool. Let me play something in standard tuning. And then we'll move to the next guitar. Got a little sharp. I have to start that over. Wow. Okay. Well, I have to move on because I only have 20 minutes left to stream here. But this has been a 1998 Greg Smallamn guitar. It is a super special instrument. Make sure to check it out at guitarcollection.com. It's not yet listed right now, so I'm more saying that for the future viewers of this live stream. Write me an email if you're watching this live stream, your instrument, and you're interested in this instrument. Oh, someone said, your guitar playing truly brings out the full potential of the instrument. Oh, thank you. Anyhow, yes, this 1998 Smallman is incredible. I forgot to say something negative about it, and that is the tuners. My God, is this an expensive guitar? And these tuners are trash. These are like what you might put on like a very beginner model guitar. So if you get this guitar, talk to me. We can talk about putting on something really nice. Like I've got a set of Barnetts here that are really nice tuners that are actually very similar looking to this. But yeah, this guitar needs like Roger Shellers, Chris Barnett, one of these style tuners. They work fine, by the way. I just like to trash tuners when they don't match the quality of the guitar. So you always have to wonder why put these tuners on? Anyhow, let's move on to the next guitar here. Well, what is next? Oh, Jim Redgate. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know, this guy that no one's heard of before, Jim Redgate. I'm kidding, because of the Lattice giants, this guy is insanely popular. Of course, Usherovich plays on his guitars. And if you look up any video of Usherovich playing, even whether it's at Seacoast Guitars or one of the other dealers, it's always on a Redgate guitar. And this is an incredible instrument of Jim Redgate's. If you look back through the channel, I've actually made videos on several different Jim Redgates, so I'm fortunate enough to have played a bunch of them. Let's go over this one, and let me tune it first. That way when I start to play, you'll be able to actually hear it. Do you hear the birds chirping outside? It's a really nice day. Another great guitar. Okay, this is a guitar by the Australian luthier Jim Redgate. Of course, Jim Redgate is not only one of the most famous Australian luthiers, he is one of the most famous luthiers in the entire world. He is building a quite different guitar than the guitars of Greg Smallamn and Sons today. These guitars are extremely lightweight, and Smallman's, like I have right here, are extremely heavy guitars. And that's not the only difference. I have to say that I think both guitars appeal to different sensibilities, but I think most people would love both of these style of guitars. This is a newer model of Jim Redgate's. This is from the year 2020. And some of the things that Jim has done on his newer guitars is had a raised fingerboard, which is very, very comfortable. He also has a flat back, and many of his earlier guitars have an arched back, and so he believes that these are a little bit lighter weight and a little bit more natural sounding and possibly a little bit more powerful as well. The finish on this guitar is this matte finish that I have to say I really quite like. It doesn't reflect into the light, especially my job here of sharing these guitars with you. Look, you don't catch a reflection anywhere. You know, I have to like open the window and ask the sun to come into my room for it to have an annoying reflection. But at the same time, there's still this like sheen. It's a still beautiful looking guitar here. It's really nice. So you'll see down here at the bridge, you got this matte finish as well. It's really dark. Like it must be like the darkest piece of ebony ever, because I can't even see wood grain into it. Maybe it's a different material. Anyways, I'll speculate more later. Has this really gorgeous armrest, and when you flip it around, just look at the woods he uses here. I mean, it is beautiful. Most of the time, he uses this Pardo rosewood, this South American rosewood. That's just spectacular. I mean, the color in this thing is gorgeous. It's this orangish color, and there's so many stripes along the side of this guitar. It's so cool. Now, I have to say, these are some of the easiest playing guitars on the planet. It's actually a real mystery how this one plays so well. I mean, the action is very low, so that's one thing. But just the feel of the neck and the fretwork and the polishing, it just all works so well for the left hand. And you see why some of these real powerhouse players gravitate towards Jim Redgate's guitars. The neck is also perfectly C-shaped. You know, this is something I'm a big fan of. Thin, C-shaped, and it feels almost equal thickness in first position as to seventh or ninth. It does get a little bit thicker here. but it's not so dramatic. I'm going to guess it's around 21 millimeters here and maybe a 22 or 23 here. When you look up at the headstock, this is his classic design headstock here. You'll see that same piece of wood that you'll notice on the back and sides of the guitar up here as a plate on the headstock. We've got smooth tuners here, nothing fancy. I want to say they're probably Rubner tuners. And wow, what else is there to say about this thing? Of course, it is a lattice brace guitar. It is so loud and so responsive, and it is such a character to it. When you hear the notes, you just think that's a guitar made by Jim Redgate. It's right away distinguishable, and it's such a nice thing to recognize. You know, these different makers have these characters that you can pick out from just hearing a few notes. It's really pretty cool. So let's hear how it sounds. Again, another powerhouse guitar with so much volume, so much sustain. And I have to say, this guitar, the overtones are so strong. The sympathetic vibrations are so strong. Like when I did this, I mean, like notes like A, the sympathetic vibrations and overtones almost overtake the note. It has that feeling of playing a really great traditional guitar where the overtones are just jumping out of the guitar. I'll explore some of the other strings here. is just simply a beautiful guitar. I mean, you know what I feel about this instrument is that it really lets you have authority over it without it being trusting too much of you. It's really, it's tricky to say, but you know, it lets you really pick out what voices you want to be loud, what notes you want to be loud, what notes you want to be quiet. And you feel like you have a lot of control over the instrument, but it's not one of these instruments to where it's so clear that it's mind-numbingly difficult to get a great sound out of it. So if you're looking for an instrument like that, I mean, this is something that is at the top of the food chain of instruments like that. It's so easy to play. If I sent you this guitar, I feel like anyone, unless you have some bizarrely different hands, I guarantee you would say it's so easy to play. It's ridiculous. So nice. Works great contrapuntally as well. Just, I'm not playing very well today. Yeah, let me give you a little example of that. Let me see if I can bring up the sheet music to 999. 999. Yes. Okay, I have it. Oh, I don't want that one. Yeah, listen to this. It's really nice with this contrapuntal stuff too. It's a rather clear guitar, and yes, it's overtone heavy, but when you're playing something that you want to be clear and succinct, when you're playing something that you want to be clear and really pronounced, it does a great job at that. In fact, the articulation, the clarity of articulation on this guitar is really nice. Sight reading to some degree there, but it's a really, really nice instrument for the clarity of sound as well. Well, let me play a couple of things that I always play on guitar so that you have something to compare it to, and then we'll move to the next guitar. I'm going to try playing that again. Wow. Wow. Is this thing a sensitive beast? I mean, this A. It's still going with those sympathetic vibrations, right? It's just the type of guitar you feel at home on and so comfortable making music. Wow. Gosh, I have to pinch myself sometimes getting to know these great instruments. It's really cool and it's mind-numbing to choose between them, honestly. So this has been a 2020 Jim Redgate guitar. Of course, based in Australia, a lattice brace guitar that is very lightweight. So far, all three of these guitars here are not yet listed on the website, so if you're interested in them, please write to me at evan@guitarcollection.com. You'll see all sorts of ways to contact me on the website. But last but not least, and I have to say I must be brief because I have another meeting to get to here. But we have this amazing guitar by Mark Usherovich. And while it's not least by any means, in comparison to the two powerhouses that I just showed you of like a fame of lattice brace guitars, we have a much lesser known in comparison luthier here that I have to say I've been so impressed with his guitars. This is the second one I've had in a month, which is insane. Before that, I never even got a chance to play one. Let me tune up real quick. What's up, folks? Hey, Brandon. Hey, Benjamin. Hey, Ari. Glad you're enjoying. Hey, Frank. And Frank, I agree with you there. One second, y'all. To check something. Okay, all good. Okay, So now I have to show you this guitar by the Canadian luthier Mark Usherovich. Mark's guitars is something I just started learning about and experiencing myself. I've heard great things. Many people I trust have told me, you have to try these Usherovich guitars. I have to say, they've always looked fascinating to me from a distance, and I've heard some recordings that I really liked of them. And I see why these are gaining popularity so rapidly. He's a young luthier, which is always changing and improving, and I've heard firsthand, well, not firsthand, I've heard from others that his guitars have gotten so much better recently. And here we are with a very recent example of his from the year 2023. This is his carbon lattice brace model, and it's 645 millimeter scale. So it's a little bit shorter, but it's a very hard to discern amount when it's only 5 millimeters. In this direction, from the nut to the saddle here, it's 5 millimeters smaller. Now, these guitars are lattice brace with carbon reinforcement, and they are extremely light. I would say it's lighter than the Jim Redgate guitar that I have here. And some of the aesthetic details I really love on this guitar. So let's talk a little bit about the specs. It's this cedar top with a beautiful color to it. You'll see his classic rosette here, which really, I think, matches with the aesthetic of the guitar and the different woods that he chose here. You'll see a matte finish bridge, very, very simple. You'll notice the saddle is actually like routed in here to the bridge, which I think looks so clean. You'll see a very nice intonated saddle. You'll have an armrest here, making it really comfortable to rest your right hand. You'll see a raised fingerboard and an Indian rosewood back and sides on this. Now, I have to say, I love the fingerboard on this. It's really bordering this edge of being a little bit too flamboyant, I think, with this sapwood strip going here, but I really like the congruency this instrument has as far as the details that go a little bit out there. I mean, and also the congruency as it has to do with music. For instance, I love how this tapers down to the 2nd fret. Right here is where it starts, and as it gets up closer to the highest range of the guitar, you get more sapwood. It feels like it's like, oh, as you go up in pitch, you have more of this sapwood. I don't know, something just makes sense. As it comes out of my mouth, it makes less sense. But I think you know what I mean. Something feels very congruent about all of this. I have to say the neck shape is perfect. In fact, I was just reviewing a guitar made by Jim Redgate, and I have to say it's very similar. Very C-shaped, thin, so easy to play. The action is super low. And this guitar is so lightweight. I have to say it again. You go up to the headstock and you'll see a beautiful piece of wood used for the head plate there. I want to say that's Brazilian rosewood. And it just looks gorgeous. You'll have these high quality sheller tuners. That's what I'm talking about. Some shellers on this thing. It's some nice tuners. I'm a tuner nerd, admittedly, but it is really nice. I dropped my little grippy pad here. So you have to hear how this thing sounds. Maybe a little bit of chord test here. Some great sustain on this guitar. I mean, listen to things like La Cathedral on it. say, there are only a handful of guitars that I have played where the F sharp lasts so long, and that's not overtones, that's not sympathetic vibrations. It's so long. I mean, it sounds like the A on a lot of guitars. And then check out the G. I mean, for La Catedral, F, E. Listen to this. I mean, I have to record this for historical sake, how even the sustain is. F, F sharp, G. Let's try G sharp. It probably won't be good. Pretty good. I mean, when E, F, F sharp, and G is good, then it's like diminishing chances that it's going to be as good as you go up. I have to say, in this range of the guitar, which is really, if you're going to the higher frets, these are the ones we really care about. These should be good, if at all possible. And this is some of the best I've ever heard. Some of the best I've ever heard. And keep in mind, I'm punishing this guitar. I'm muting all the other strings. I'm not doing this, which everything will sound great if I don't mute the other strings. But I'm punishing it by muting all the other strings, and it's perfect. Okay, E flat's not the longest note. But again, you don't mute the other strings and it's fine. It's really phenomenal. So sustain, if this is important to you, this guitar's got it, big time. Let's explore some of the strings here. I have to tune a little bit. It's that E and the A. There we go. Nice, man. I have to say, very similar in sound to the Jim Redgate guitar that I was just playing. It really lets you control it without being so sensitive to where you feel like you're making bad sounds all the time. It's really, I mean, you know, you're seeing some of the most significant benefits of lattice-braced guitars. Not all lattice-braced guitars, but some of the best examples of lattice-braced guitars. The sustain is just so nice. I'm telling you right now, my job feels very easy trying to best represent this guitar. It just lets you play, and it's so comfortable. Of course, this is so much due to the master craftsmanship of Mark Usherovich here. It's a really nice guitar. I think if you're interested in getting an amazing concert-worthy instrument or wherever it is you plan to play it, this is a great choice that also won't break the bank in the way that Jim Redgate or Greg Smallamn guitar will. But it's so much fun to play. Let me play a couple of more musical examples for you, and then I've got to run. Wow, is that a powerful sound? Whew. Well, I have to thank you all so much for being patient with me. This is an hour and 15-minute live stream here. So it's been so much fun sharing with you this guitar by Mark Usherovich from the year 2023. This 2020 Lattice Brace Jim Redgate guitar. Yes, this is definitely just a little bit heavier than the Mark Usherovich guitar that I just shared with you. And then finally, or well, what I showed you first was this 1998 Greg Smallamn guitar. This was a fun one, I have to admit. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of your comments and questions here. Thanks so much for tuning in, you all. There'll be another video released tomorrow on a guitar. I don't even know which one is releasing tomorrow, so I have to go look what I'm going to release. But thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this after the fact, you're tuning in a year later, a day later, let me know. Still leave a comment on the live stream and I'll see it there. And I love to hear that these are useful after the fact as well. Thanks so much for watching. I think probably the most viewed live stream that I've had on this channel. Great to see you all, and I hope you have a great rest of your week and enjoy playing some guitar. Talk to you soon, and thanks for watching.